Alles Klotz Productions.
GFrom, the gamer, the legend, he's come to show you the way in this world of games. GFrom reviews.
Hey everyone, this is GFrom bringing you my 24th video game review, which is Spyro the Dragon for the Sony PlayStation. Let's take a look at it right away, shall we?
Nasty Nork is a simple creature.
5 dragon families lived a peaceful life in their 5 dragon worlds. One day a reporter asks a dragon about the evil Nasty Nork. Nasty Nork is trapped and he's upset about being called
Ugly.
He uses a magic spell that traps every single dragon in some kind of crystal, except for one little purple dragon called Spyro. The goal of this game is to rescue all of the dragons, get all the gems and find all of the dragon eggs. There's a total of 6 homeworlds, of which the first 5 have 3 regular levels, a flying level and a boss level each. For the most part you can play the levels of a homeworld in any order you like. To get to the next homeworld you have to do what the balloonist of each world says. This could be to rescue a total of 10 dragons or collect 2000 gems. This means that you don't even have to get to every level in order to advance, although it's recommended. Saving the dragons is done simply by touching the statues. Most of them give you some sort of advice, while others are just plain weird.
You have no idea how long I've been trapped in crystal. And, neither do I. Who are you again?
The gems are everywhere. Besides the ones that lay on the ground, you also find them in treasure chests. Sometimes you need a key to open them. By the colors of the gems you can tell how much they are worth. A red gem counts as 1, a green counts as 2, blue as 5, yellow as 10 and pink as 25. Last but not least you have to catch these blue annoying thieves that stole all of the dragon eggs. These can however only be found in the first 3 worlds. You get to a level by walking into these portals which you find in the home worlds. To leave you either jump into these tornado thingies or simply get into the pause menu and choose exit. A lot of the enemies in this game are Norks. Early on in the game they aren't that hard, but later on they get tougher. You have 2 ways of attacking. You can either use your charge attack and of course breathe fire. A majority of your foes are immune to one of them. You can't run into these fat frogs, but putting their asses on fire will do the job. When you defeat an enemy you get a gem. In case you defeat him again because you revisit a level or simply die, a little pearl appears. Get some more and you'll be rewarded with an extra life, which you also can find in these purple things. A little dragonfly named Sparks follows you around and he actually has a purpose. You can imagine him as your guardian angel or something. Every time you get hit, he changes his color. Get hit 3 times and he's doomed. Get hit a 4th time and you're toast as well. You can get energy back by killing innocent little animals which turn into butterflies which Sparks eats up. Wow, what an asshole! I mean, look at this cute little froggy. Burn, mother. Sparks also picks up gems that are close to you, which is helpful. Spyro is a young dragon, so he hasn't learned to fly yet. At least not in the regular stages. Luckily you can glide if you push the jump button twice. By pushing triangle you drop down in mid-flight. I usually push square, it looks cooler. Like I said, there are flying levels as well. Here you have to fly through rings, shoot down airplanes and so on. Your time is running out and it's your goal to beat the clock in order to get more gems. Spyro can't swim, but I don't mind that since I think it wouldn't add that much to the game. You can also roll with the shoulder buttons, but I never used this feature. Later in the game you see a bunch of arrows on the ground. This is called the supercharge. If you run over these arrows you get super fast and way stronger. Another way to get stronger is to get kissed by a fairy. This is only possible in a couple of stages, but this fairy kisses so good that Spyro turns red and destroys knight armor with his fire breath. Now that's a hot fairy. With the exception of the last boss, none of the bosses have to be beaten. However, in order to get to the secret level you have to get
100%.
That's right, all the dragons, all of the gems and every dragon egg. The reward is well worth it. Spyro the Dragon puts you into a magical world with huge levels to explore. A bunch of them are kinda linear, but many aren't. There's a lot to see and many hidden areas to find. Every homeworld with its levels has its own unique feeling. You're in the desert, in the swamps and even above the clouds. My favorite level is the one called Terran's Village. The atmosphere is awesome and I like the enemy selection and their shocking weapons. You gotta love a green sky. The backgrounds in general are pretty sweet. Other memorable levels include the ice cavern and the level where the enemies change their appearance depending on if the lights are on or not. I love how colorful this game is, it's so much fun to look at. I also like what happens when you try to run out of a level. Now that's what I call an invisible wall. Oh man, did I rhyme again? Finally, we get to this section. Let's start with the sound in general. The enemies make funny noises and the sound effects are just right. Especially the thieves are just hilarious. The voice acting is pretty good. Spyro sounds like a naive little dragon that just wants to kick some. Now the soundtrack is made by former Police drummer Stuart Copeland. This guy is a genius. Why? Because this is my favorite video game soundtrack ever. I'm dead serious. This soundtrack is so much fun to listen to. I don't know where to start. The theme song tells you right away how awesome the score is. Most of the tracks are light-hearted and make you feel good while playing. My favorite calm track has to be Ice Cavern. And Dark Hollow. And Dark Passage. This is so laid back and beautiful. A lot of the tracks kick so much ass. Take Toasty for example. It's hard to tell which one is my absolute favorite, but if I had to choose, I would go with Gnarkakov. This one never gets boring, I love it so much. I could just make a whole video about the songs in this game. Mr. Copeland, I salute you. Damn, that music's catchy. In 1997, 1 year after Disruptor was released, Insomniac Games started development of Spyro the Dragon. The main character was originally going to be green, but that would have blended in too much with the grass areas. If Spyro would have been green, maybe Fox Interactive would have made Croc purple instead. The game was released in 1998 as an exclusive for the PlayStation. It sold very well and Spyro became an unofficial mascot for the console, along with Crash Bandicoot. There are a bunch of cheats for this game. I'm just going to give you one. In the main menu, push L1 and triangle at the same time. This gives you the opportunity to play a demo of Crash Bandicoot 3. Pretty cool. Also have a really lame advice for you. Remember how the game saved automatically in the second and third Spyro game? Well, it doesn't do that in this one. I totally forgot about this and turned off the game after 2 hours or so to take a break. I'm such an idiot. Just because of that, I had to replay half the game again. So before you turn off the game, step on a platform where Dragon Crystal used to stand and save. What would you do without me? You hear me praise the game like crazy, but is there something bad about it? Back then when I got this game, some stages were ridiculously hard for me. I remember that I didn't know how to get to this dragon back then. I had like 99%. But especially the level called Treetops was too much for me. You had to use the supercharge and run to places you thought were impossible to get to. Meanwhile, it's not that big of a deal, although it's still the most challenging part of the game. But challenge is good. In fact, more challenge would be nice. The boss battles are way too easy. It takes no skill to beat them. Some dragons you save have nothing to say at all. There are way too many that just say,
"Thank you for releasing me."
Thank you for releasing me. Thank you for releasing me. Thank you for releasing me.
Thank you for releasing me.
You see? That's kind of lazy in a way. And of course the game has the same problem that every collecting game has. You have to find 500 gems in a level and you forgot one somewhere. It takes way too much time to find it in a bad case. With the nitpicking out of the way, this game is the definition of fun. I remember playing a demo of this game in the late 90s and being so excited about it. Man, was I happy when we got the full version. I love running through the levels and almost never letting the square button go. While it took a very long time to beat the game back then when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I used to beat this game in one sitting nowadays. This time it took me about 5 hours to get 120%. And that's a good thing in my opinion. It gives me the opportunity to see how fast I can beat the game. Speedruns, baby! There are a lot of small moments that make you smile. Whether it's a cactus that shakes off the ashes after being burned or a stupid boss character, the developers made sure to deliver some funny moments to the player. Blow hard? Seriously? The flying levels are a nice change of gameplay and I enjoyed all of them. As a kid they were hard, but not anymore, for the most part. I still remember that my dad sucked hard at these stages, so I had to play them for him. I enjoy collecting things in this game, as I want to have everything as fast as I can. Plus the focus on gliding in the later stages adds more challenge to the game. And challenge is a good thing. Do yourself a favor and get this game. Spyro the Dragon has some sweet gameplay with awesome PS1 graphics which are still nice to look at nowadays, and my favorite gaming soundtrack ever! The controls are spot on, and I would go as far as calling them perfect. This is one of my favorite games and my favorite 3D platformer of all time. Call me crazy, but yeah, I just said that. There's almost no game in the world that still is 100% enjoyable and fun every time I play it. This is one of the few games that I consider almost perfect. I just can't describe in words how I feel for this game. Meanwhile, I even call this game my favorite PlayStation game ever. Yeah, that's right, I even prefer this over the Tomb Raider games, which used to be at the very top. But it's not about rankings. What's important is that this game has aged perfectly and should be played by anyone who's interested. Just take my word, it's really that good. Alright my friends, thanks for watching. I hope you liked my review of the masterpiece that is Spyro the Dragon. Feel free to rate, comment and subscribe. My next review will be... I'll see you later. Have a nice day.
Big enemies like this Gnorc with the club cannot be charged, but a quick flame, that should defeat them.